Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. I'm going to be taking a moment of silence for all of the school children who were massacred in the Israeli bombing today while hiding inside of a school building. That you are already familiar with. A human tongue, human eyes, human ears, human body. But I'm very much alive. Well, there are also those here who are not alive, who died long ago, and they just keep coming back and retaking bodies. And we're going to leave that. No, we're not. This is what's going on, folks. This is why you can't get this straight. Imagine a world designed for people in 2025 until you come up with some metric to make sure he's not just a host, carrying something else that will infect your entire nation, like America, infected, like Israel, infected, like the murderers in the Congo, infected, like the rapists in Houston, of which there are 2,000 unsolved cases, infected. You will never get this right. But let's, it's if a thing. What happens to the uninfected? They inherit by natural order the world. That's what happens. Because they'll be gone. And this is even if you do nothing. Hear me out again. They've reached saturation. It's a point now where it's infection and reinfection and infection and reinfection of the same host by the millions. But the saturation point has been reached. There's nowhere else for it to. Jesus make statements such as this: let the dead bury their own damn dead. Oh, I added the damn. Let the dead bury the dead. What is he saying? What is he really saying? What does he know that the people around him didn't know? His apostles. Because he could see them. He could see them. Now, amongst the infected are some very powerful people. And sometimes not so powerful. Just dweebs in puffed up suits some of them even lead merry bands of thieves, started settling it, whether it was somebody there or not. we call that land grabbing. Whoever has the biggest gun get the most land. Whoever is the most vicious and willing to kill, well, they are to get an even larger portion of the land. Shit, it's all based on murder and money and sex. Anyway, amongst this motley crew is a man by the name of Ben DeVille. Let us visit Ben. Just a second. Let's have a look at Ben's credentials. You earned it. Minister of National Security from January 2022 to January 2025. Minister of National Security. He comes back again, March 2025. Faction. He represents some faction of the Israeli Knesset. Those of you who don't know what the Knesset is the Hebrew term for government. A put together hodgepodge of men and women with absolutely no constitution at all. Constitution of spine. So there you go, Ben. I'm already in the process of undressing your dumb ass. As a man, as a dweeb, running his ass around possessing the heartbeat for no apparent reason but to kill Palestinians. And not only this man has an open warrant. He's wanted by Interpol. He's wanted by the International Criminal Court. If I see you, you know what it is. You know what it is, Ben. Don't try to run. You're too old to run. Just take it. Just sit down, put these cuffs on, and we shall be handling. Beat me up because I have arrested this goddamn man. I got the warrant in my hand. What is wrong with you? Shit. He has a worldwide warrant. What are you talking about? Are you harboring criminals now? Is that where we at now? The outright harboring of men like Itamar. What kind of name is that? Is that Yiddish? Anyway, let's go further down this man's list of credentials. Man, shit just have to get real. I am just so. And this man has a spouse. I'll have no understanding of the murderer's wife at all. You need to understand this. You need to understand this. I know for thousands of years you've been getting a pass. I know. But there ain't no more holes in that card that we can punch. No more passes. So if you're nurturing a dangerous genocidal maniac, then you face whatever he faced. I wouldn't let that type of man in my house, let alone in my bed. What say you? We already know what you say. Man says that the Palestinians ought to be starved to death. In fact, he goes so far as to demand that they be starved to death. Bombed. It is Mr. Gavir. Man, that shit don't roll off my tongue at all. Who puts a V after a G anyway? That shit's all made up. Gavir. Where's the vowel? Is it J or is it G? I mean, anyway, Itamar sounds better. It don't roll off the tongue either. That's because of my black dialect. That's all that is. That's all that is. It's a right and proper name for this shit. And in the House of Saud, we know exactly who you are. Exactly who you are. Historically. You what we call crypto-Muslim. You're not really Muslim at all. Let me just tell you one of the ways I know this here. I shall spend the next 45 seconds aspersing the House of Saud, because no one gets away. I want everybody mad. I want the kings mad. I want the princes mad. I want the presidents and the prime ministers mad, because I want you to do something stupid. I really do. I have no reason to be 80 years old. Please. In comes the U.S. ambassador to Israel, who allows himself to get talked to by strange men with strange beards wearing strange hats. And these men, Mike Huckabee. See, evangelicals, we ain't scared of nobody. I gave your dumb asses until today to figure out who your God is. Now we're going to do it for you. Now we're going to do it for you. Do it for you, because your God ain't shit. If it ain't on the same page with mine, your God ain't shit. You can pray today and tomorrow and tomorrow and today. You can work sabbatical. Well, when you're sick, you're sick. That is no mediator. That's the devil. That is the devil. There is the reason that they don't want you to hear anything Hamas would have to say, because their ears can't bear to hear anything based on righteousness at all. And your ears, they simply cannot afford for your ears to hear anything of righteousness either. So they lie and they hide and they obfuscate and make false ass narratives. But it's not going to work this time. At any rate, these two old men are sitting there discussing why people in the world hate the Jews. In particular, why over 60 or 70% of Americans have fallen out of favor with them. I told you that they're going to get around and rounding y'all asses up. Where you think your ass is? The third world? I mean, some Eastern Bloc European country? We kill shit around here. You know, every 100 years or so, we just up and decide to murder the shit out of each other. We may give it a name, revolution, civil war, but actually what it is just that 100 years. So God isn't going to do anything. Now, don't we? You do understand why, Rabbi? Because you have no God. You are the God. I figured it out. You wrote your own holy books? Yeah, like Protocols of the Elders of Zion. If I read that kind of shit and I was indoctrinated with that kind of shit, then I want to wake up and rape and murder and pillage too. I would see everybody as animals. I would want whatever they got, including that fine ass tender. How old is she? I mean, God damn it, it don't matter. She's only 12. Well, what do you say? Choose. Y'all can't even get on the same page. You know why? Because you're lying. God is no author of any confusion. You are. You lie. Now, while I got you up in a roar and being over here nervous, because being nervous right now, he don't know what the fuck that I'm gonna say. Neither does his wife or Yala. Don't play with me. Don't play. Neither of you have no value to us. Who is us, Ben? Who is us? Is it your God? Is it the God of your father? Is it the God of your mother, Ben? You need a miracle, Ben. And these are two old ass men that's, oh goodness gracious, that don't even see. Y'all make me say things. You do understand that your men from Israel come from a matriarchal society. The woman gets to decide if he is a Jew or not. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that something? See, Ben, you make me say these kind of things, but the world ought to know what goes into the making of a man like you. A lot of bitch. Apparently. Did you, man, I'm not just going to insult you. Whole new level. Like Ben here. Ben ought to be proud of himself. I'm done with Ben. Ben, understand something, that we watching you. And that little faction of the Israeli government also. You have no God. God doesn't steal. God doesn't lie. God doesn't murder people for their land. You do. You do. He most certainly doesn't sanctify or engage in rape or its the derivatives, sexual immorality. God would not have brought the world porn. People like you did, Ben. See, without people like Ben, we wouldn't even have the word terrorism. Nobody to this day even knows what a terrorist is. To this day, they just make shit up, buy off the government, and the government just act as their mouthpieces. You don't have no government here. Ben, how does it feel? See, you being over there saying, God damn, I wish she'd get my. No, Ben, I got legitimate questions and I got you on the line. Okay? And you can't hang up. I'm just gonna call back. We can do this all day. You can't block me, so I'll just be calling back. Okay. At any rate, Ben, how does it feel? How does it feel to know that people from your tribe are in the full control of the U.S. government? How does that shit feel? Because that's got to be powerful, man. That's got to be some powerful ass shit, man. Did you let that shit go into your head? You do know we don't give a fuck about them either, right? We don't give a fuck how much money you paid them. If you booted them over, raggedy ass, tossed into the ocean, that to harm a child. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall be gathering millstones and headed toward the ocean. Okay? From henceforth, we are looking for millstones and a deep spot. Let them meet the Kraken. Let them meet the Kraken, like the Bible would say. Put a a cinder block on their neck and toss them in the middle of the goddamn ocean. That'll teach them. That'll fix them. They won't be doing it ever again. Talking about that somebody baby. Yeah, well, they raised them wrong. That's why I tried to raise mine right. I didn't raise a murderer. I did raise them anyway. But I didn't anyway. I'm going down a path that I shouldn't go because it's personal. And they have a input as to if I talk about them or not. Unlike Ben, he's a political figure. He don't have a choice. Neither does his family. Neither does his neighbor. Neither does anyone who would hug him, kiss him, support him, bring his ass a meal, or any of the fuck thing else. You understand, right, Ben? You do. You ain't never been talked to like this, have you? He's in shock. And that's a nigger man. I know that's a nigger. He sounds like a nigger. He has a nigger verbiage and a nigger lexicon that's a nigger, mama. Yeah, it is, man. But you should check out the Bible. The Bible describes, I hate to say it, Ben, but it describes me. I really hate to say it, Ben. You lie. You all lie. And what will you do with this newfound truth? Will you continue to try to build a greater Israel while you steal all of America's money, corrupt its politicians, threaten them with releasing exposés on them about the little picadillos that they've involved in? What is it about you politicians and these sexcapades? What is wrong with you? Does it come with the chair? I want to know, does it come with the chair as like part of a benefit package to the point that I got to go to Epstein Island? There is no way that everybody else here went and I'm not going, and they got stories. They had people for every, but that's your shot across the ball. We know where you are and we know who you are. That's your shot across the ball. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, limb for a limb. You ask the question, where is God? Well, we know where your God is, scared as fuck right now. He's trembling. That's where your God is. That's where your God is. Anyway, Ben, let me ask you a question about this greater Israel. We can get past the right to self-defense. It gets worse than that. That's just the beginning of the bad news. You want to hear the really bad news? You and your people are getting out of Israel. All of you. Every last one of you. The country is going to simply disintegrate, collapse, get murdered out, or fleed out, meaning they're going to flee to nicer places like Cyprus. No one else actually wants them. And that's a fact. Even Africa say, please don't come here. Europe say, please don't come here. Cyprus say, come here, but we ain't letting you buy no goddamn property. But at any rate, where are we going with all this here? Because you're not going to be there. And I want the whole of Israel to understand this. The damn Christian amongst the Israeli already understands. They get it. You're not going to be there. You are heathens. What do heathens do that you don't do? Then if you do the work of the heathen, the known work of the heathens, are you not heathen? Or are you just emulating heathen and hedonistic, cannibalistic, that I would never take my heavily armed ass out to say some mall on a nice day where everybody out there shopping that ain't done shit to me. They just out there trying to eat ice cream and, do a little shopping, and in come my black ass with 200 rounds of 5.56 high velocity. Some of them are the armor piercing. Ben, what am I then, Ben? What am I? Am I still a man being? Or am I a monster? Huh? What would you call me? You talk about man, you are making him a liar, a thief, a murderer, and a killer, and a genocidal maniac and a rapist of children. While at the same time, he's also saying that he would put a millstone around your neck and chunk your ass into the ocean. Ben, I'm looking for millstones. Don't I'm sure we can find one. Don't make us look for you with the millstone and then look for rope. You're crazy. And so that entire ilk over there, it's a whole faction of them. Here the Palestinians, we don't care if you kill them all. It's not about book names and you make it yourselves. You're not Benjamin. You're not Benjamin. Benjamins are strong, stoic, straightforward. You're none of those things. You're none of those things. Here's another Benjamin running his ass around and trying to avoid law, trying to avoid repercussion, trying to avoid comeuppance for the work of his own hands. Now, he understands that as long as we keep this war going, then their government legal machinery can't even start because he's in power right now. He's the prime minister. He understands. Let me stop. Let me stop, man. Let me stop. The guy will be trained, just not at anyway. Anyway, man, listen. These people are psychopaths. Now he's saying that uh the only ceasefire we will agree is a total end to the war, and Hamas must totally disarm and agree not to govern any of Gaza full of children again, in the hope that if I keep killing their babies, they'll just give in. So you gonna kill the women and children of the men fighting you. How weak are you? How weak? I mean, you say, man, listen, no more lies. No more lies. Okay? Your time is up. And this is what we're gonna wrap this up right here. Right here. You have put yourself off as being this, I'm Jewish, I'm Israeli. Oh man, they have the U.S. Israeli ambassador in a room that's probably what? I mean, look like 8 by 8. Damn. At a small brown table, two Jewish rabbis with beards and white hats walk in. Oh, hell no. I'm getting the hell up out of here. This is crazy. This is madness. Mike is slumped over in his seat, won't make eye contact with him, and looking at the table. Snap out of it. Choke one of them, Mike. Choke one of them. They too old to fight back. That's why, this is why you look just like Mike. Same skin tone, same type of hair, same eye color. You ain't clips yet, you dumb bucks. It's because it's you. You look at each other every day, and you have convinced this guy over here to come to somehow see you differently when you look like him in the mirror. The hell is wrong with both of you? You've lost your minds. You lost your minds. Man, you're being led by psychopaths, okay? Out and out psychopaths. That's what it is. And they're dead. Now, you got yourself under some kind of spell or delusion, and I'm sure the evangelicals are under a strong delusion because they can't get past their own racism. Let them die in it. Let let them die with it. Okay? But just as I told them, it's now Monday, they had a week, and no God that they believe in that ain't black has showed up. And we're getting impatient because they read the same Bible we do. And they know what the truth is. They just can't get past their own hate. Okay? or other men for that matter, is a target. And they want to hide it from their wives, or they pass themselves off as wholesome men with a fake ass wife and some fake ass kids. But everybody involved know that on Friday nights, he likes to cruise. Don't nobody say nothing. He goes out and cruises the streets, and he pick him up one, satisfy himself, and then he go back home, and everybody acts like it ain't happening. Well, that's the situation. That's the situation. And they want to keep this shit secret. I don't know why. It's apparently that their wives don't care, or force shame and embarrassment upon you. Do you know where you live? Let me tell you where you live. Where you live at, everything from bestiality to necromania is on the menu. Okay? And everything in between. And you are afraid of them judging you? Them passing judgment? Man, please. You are so full of yourself. And who do you think the American electorate is? Look at America. Look at America. Livelihood is down. All kinds of bad socioeconomic indicators. And then they flee. But it is them who have produced the very environment and the politicians that has created the same conditions that they now flee. Ergo, the people of the United States. You your own worst enemy. Leave us the fuck alone. Fix yourself. Fix yourself. Now, we aim with three. Holy people don't murder. Holy people don't go around causing war for land. Only evil people do this. Now, you can call yourself God's chosen people, but it will be by your God that never speaks to you. Never responds beyond, do more of what you're doing. Hell, I don't know. I didn't think about all this happening. That nigga, I mean, he earned it. However, none of this is going to be, and you're going to get out. Now we can do this the easy way, but we can do this the hard way. And right about now, you are saying to yourself, who does this? And by all the entire world. And as the world wakes up more and more, then it ensures that at some point, two things will happen. You're going to be rounded up and put somewhere, and your ass is getting out of that land. You picked the wrong land. God calls you heathens. Maybe that's why Netanyahu says he's an anti-Semite. No, not really. He's just anti-heathen. He doesn't like heathens. Nowhere in the Bible does it say he hates Semites. It says he hates you up to your own devices, which clearly have led you to this dilemma that's above your fucking pay grade. You think about those things, both you beings, and Mike. Damn, dude. You know how that shit look? You in a small ass room with a small brown ass table, sitting here with what look like two Jewish heretics. I would have brought my sword or something, or a wooden stake. You should have been ready, Mike, because they come with spells and spirits, which is what's going on